Okay, Korey Smith for Sky Sports News. Thanks very much indeed for joining us in these difficult times. Just reflecting back on last Saturday, really, how was the experience of that trip to Blackburn on the restart, and what was it like playing in front of no crowd for probably the first time in your professional career, I imagine?
Yeah, obviously, firstly, the result was wasn't very good. Obviously, was really disappointed with that. But yeah, it was a very different experience going up the day before and a couple different coaches sitting really spaced out with masks on the whole way, gloves. Getting to the hotel, all the food was like buffet style, so you weren't allowed to touch anything. They give it out to you. You go on a table with 2 or 3 people where you've got your knife and fork, and then you've got a little bowl with your sauces or whatever. And then obviously straight after dinner, straight to your room on your own, single rooms, no messing around with the lads and stuff like that. So yeah, it was very different going to the stadium. No fans, and we was in 2 separate changing rooms, so that was quite strange. Obviously, the team that started was in one change room, and the substitutes were in a changing room around the corner. So we didn't really get to see them much before the game, which was obviously isn't great, but it is what you have to do. But yeah, it was a very different experience. But we have to do these things to get back on the football pitch, and that's the most important thing.
So very tight in that playoff race as well, so congested. 3 points, I think, between 6th and 12th. Games coming thick and fast. You must still fancy your chances of securing one of them, even though you lost on Saturday.
Yeah, of course. Listen, we lost 3 points, but there's a lot of points still to play for. We've got 8 games left, 3 games a week, and we've got a massive opportunity every game to. I think if you win a game, you're going to move up a few places in the league. So we lost 1 game, but it's 3 points at the end of the day. We've got to refocus, and of course we've got a shot, but obviously we need to play a lot better than we did on the weekend.
You've extended your contract until the end of this season, of course. You're playing for your future, really, after that, aren't you? What have the club said to you about your situation? Is it kind of put on hold? Obviously, they have to consider the injuries you've had in recent years, which have been quite bad.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the moment, the club don't feel that they can offer me anything at this moment in time. Obviously, with everything going on, not saying that it might not happen in the future, but at this moment in time, the club hasn't put anything on the table. So it was a no-brainer for me really to extend the contract. I've been here a long time, and no matter what, I'll always give 100%. I'll always do everything I can for the club and work hard and try and win games. And I think everyone at the club knows that, the fans, the players, my teammates, the staff. No matter the situation, I'll always put my 100% in. So that's my goal, is to try and get this club to the Premier League since I joined the club, and till my last day, whenever that shall be.
Is it a concern after that, though, what might happen? Because with the times we're living in at the moment, there's a lot of suggestion that EFL players, not so much at your level, but certainly lower down, but it could include you as well, could struggle to find clubs because clubs just aren't going to have the money to spend on contracts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a few players that obviously have decided not to play, as they don't want to risk, their futures, it's a hard one. For me, I wanted to play, but I understand how some people might feel about that. But it's one of those. What's happening is happening, and all you can do is concentrate on yourself. Once you've made a decision, can't worry about the future too much. I don't worry about myself too much. It's more the side of it of your family. I've got a little boy and stuff who starts school in September. So the season finished in August. You don't know where he's going to go to school. Them kind of things. So they're the little things that your family and stuff worry about. But me personally, I'm just concentrated on my football, to be honest. And I'm happy to be playing. I feel like I've been playing well since I've come back from injury, and the results have been good. So I've just got to keep concentrating on myself, get some more games in the tank, and hopefully whatever happens is positive for me.
On the football then on Saturday, what was the actual experience like during the game? I spoke to Craig Shakespeare yesterday at Watford, the assistant manager, and he said to me what struck him was that you don't realise how much the crowd influences a game. He said it's not even like a near miss, it's not even a corner, it's not even a shot just hitting the bar or something. It's even sometimes it can be a tackle that can turn a game, and because the crowd get behind the team and think, well, actually the players are up for this. We might be 1-0 down, maybe we can turn it around. But with none of that there, it just creates different dynamics.
Yeah, no, it is very strange. I can't lie, it is very different. Like you said, those exact points when someone normally does a big tackle or has a shot or wins a corner, those kind of things, the crowd reacts and naturally everyone gets a buzz off it. But it was very strange. Like someone would, even like when the goals went in, obviously everyone goes and claps, but the feeling's not the same. You know what I mean? It is very different without the fans. But like I said, it's one of those, you've just got to get on with it. And we're lucky that everyone's worked so hard to get us back on the pitch. A lot of other sports aren't even playing, so we're lucky to be out there, and we just got to try and enjoy every moment and go with it.
Bristol City have been knocking on the door of the playoffs with the aim of getting promotion to the Premier League. Is there some, in recent seasons, is there some unfinished business for you? I mean, not only have you been involved with a lot of promotion campaigns at Bristol City, I remember you playing for Norwich all the way over the other side of the country, 8-10 years ago, whenever it was. You got promotion, you were a big part of their back-to-back promotions, but you didn't play a game in the Premier League. What happened? Was it injury?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I got that back-to-back. That was unbelievable time back at Norwich. I remember you from there, obviously. And yeah, it was a great time. But when we got to the Premier League, I think I was the 19th man. Obviously, I was very young. I was still only maybe 20. I played a lot of games, getting promoted the 2 years before. Obviously, the club made a few signings, but I was part of the plans. And I remember I was the 19th man. I think it was the first game of the season against Chelsea. And I remember like Paul Lambert said to me, like, you've been doing really well, like you'll get your chance. And then literally I played a game in the week to get the fitness in the resis in the first week of that Premier League season. And I did my ankle and I was out for 6-7 months, and obviously came back. It was hard after coming back from there to get back to that match tempo. I didn't really, at that young age, I didn't really know about nutrition and things like that, the kind of things that have probably got me back from these injuries so well, so I felt a little bit sloppy when I came back. And then obviously Paul Lambert left the club, who was obviously the one that kind of brought me in and played me and the one that kind of trusted me. And so then after that, obviously I left. But yeah, it was unfortunately, I never got my shot. So I've always had a little thing where I want to get another shot in the Premier League.
Much more seriously, outside of football in some ways, what did you make of the White Lives Matter banner as it flew over the Etihad the other day? Did you see that? Did you have an opinion on it, along with many other black players in football?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was really unfortunate to see, switching on your telly, looking forward to watching a game and seeing that. But I think, there was no reflection on Burnley as a football club or the players. I don't think it's nothing to do with any of them. And I think Ben Mee done an amazing interview afterwards, and I had so much respect for him. It's just a small minority of people, but it was unfortunate, and hopefully it's something we can all learn from.
So, I mean, we talk about, this is final question from me. I mean, do you still experience racism in football at all? I mean, we tend to think it's something we associate with back to times before we were born, but I'm always surprised how many players say to me, yeah, I still do experience it, even if it's only casual.
Yeah, 100%. You only have to look at even this season with Jonathan Lecco, who's a former teammate of mine. That's happened this season. I've had stuff happen to me on football pitches. Outside of football, me and my family have had stuff said to us and things done. So I think that's the hard part. If you haven't experienced it, it's hard to understand. So it's just like anything in life. If you haven't been bullied, you might not understand it, and you might think, but if you have to, that's why it's important that we just educate each other and try and help each other, so the next generation don't have to go through or experience that, and everyone can live happily together, because that's what we want.
Thanks for your time, Korey. Nice to see you.
Nice one. Thank you.
On to you, Ali.
Very much, mate. Hi, Korey. How you doing? All right?
Hi, Ali. You all right? Yeah, good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
not bad. Just wanted to see if you could give us an idea of what Sunday is going to be like at Ashton Gate. How your routine? You've been told your routine is going to be different.
Yeah, I mean, we normally actually come to the games and have our food at the games and stuff like that at 12 o'clock, which obviously I don't think will be happening anymore. I think it's a case of, they don't want you inside the stadium for too long. Obviously, if you're in an outside space, you have a lot less of a risk catching the COVID. So I think we'll maybe turn up. I don't know for definite yet because we haven't been given the plan, but I would have thought we'll probably turn up about an hour and a half before, get in there, just get your boots and stuff and get outside as quickly as possible and go and play the game. I don't think obviously much will be that different in the last hour and a half, but obviously the handshakes, the stuff, little things like that are a little bit different, but yeah, it's head on the game as usual, and hopefully we can get a better result.
Of course, you've got a lovely changing room at Ashton Gate. Is it going to be socially distanced? Are you using every other peg or anything like that? Do you know?
Once again, to be fair, I'm not 100% sure, but we do have a lot of space in our changing room, and is not just one room. There is 2 or 3 rooms to our dressing room, so that will obviously be perfect for us. Like I said at Blackburn, it was a bit strange because I didn't actually even see the substitutes and the rest of the lads in the squad at all from when we got getting changed. We went outside, saw them warmed up, and then kind of went in, and I didn't see them. Whereas normally before a game, we're all there together. The subs are saying, "Come on, lads!" So that was strange. But yeah, hopefully we'll be a little bit closer in our change room on Sunday, and we can use that to our advantage.
So I guess you'd normally be all in there to have, the pre-match team talk and the halftime team talk from Lee. But there's got to be enough room for all of you, hasn't there, to do that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the rules and the guidelines, I think you're only allowed a certain amount of people in the room at a time. So yeah, like I said, it is very different. It is strange, but like I said, we've just got to roll with it. Everyone's in the same boat at the end of the day. They'll be doing exactly the same as us. So we just got to concentrate on the game and try to get the result.
And in terms of in the tunnel, do you go out at the same time as the opposition?
No, to be fair, that's obviously a lot different. Normally you kind of stand next to each other and size each other up a little bit. One team might be shouting, other teams are relaxed. You got one, and some people might be standing all serious, trying to intimidate, little things like that. Everyone's different, but obviously at the moment it's one team jogs out first, and then the other team, I think it's the away team, goes out first, and then the home team comes out second. So yeah, it is very, very different.
Yeah, does that change the intensity for you in terms of like working you up for a game?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, everyone's watched all the games from Germany and the beginning of the games, and you can definitely see the intensity is a little bit different. Whether it's obviously we haven't played that many games and you've been off for a long time, but that is a big part of it as well. The crowd, the little things like being in the tunnel, kind of trying to win that battle in the tunnel, and those little things come into the intensity of the game as well. So yeah, you've got to try and obviously make your own intensity, and everyone's got to try and be a voice on that pitch. I think that's very important.
Hi, Sunday Independent. How you doing?
Hi, Gareth. Yeah, good. Thank you. Very good.
I mentioned already, Korey, because you connect. Limited. Did the lockdown come at a good time for you in that you almost had another pre-season, a pre-season that you didn't have the previous year?
Yeah, you know what? Definitely. I mean, I must say that even from before lockdown, like I said, I got back in the team and our performances and results started to get better. So on a personal note, I was happy. But obviously, I still wasn't 100%. But I would say this lockdown came at a really good time for me, and I worked hard and I made sure I was keeping my legs strong, and obviously my foot. And yeah, I feel good. I feel better than I did before, and that's a real positive for me.
So, was there any time during your rehab from the second injury that you thought you perhaps would never? I know it's a dark days for football in injury.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did an interview before, and I said like the first injury, I was kind of like, okay, I'm injured. Let's work hard, get back, put my head down. So I did that, and then when I obviously came back, played a couple games, we won a couple games, so I had a real high, a real buzz. We was back in just around the playoffs, and then obviously to get another injury after a couple games, the news was just like when he said how long I was going to be out, like that did hit me. You know, there was tears. I can't lie. You know, and I did doubt it. I was like, am I going to be able to get back? You know, but you know, I've got a family. I've got my young boys. I've got 2 sons watching me, and I thought to myself, you know what, no matter what, I'm gonna just give it my best and show them, you know, anything's possible. And I feel like I've done that. You know, they're proud of me. My family's proud of me. So I'm just gonna continue working hard and doing what I can do and trying to inspire them.
Guess time, do you think? Does that spur you on even more?
Sorry?
Does it's like making up for lost time spur you on even more, especially at the moment with, you know, still very much in the promotion race?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the one last year really was annoying because we was right in there, and I came back for 2 games and we beat Sheffield United away, obviously who went up, and Middlesbrough away within 4 days. So to come back and win those games and be in the playoffs, I think there was about 8 games left. I was just on an absolute high, and I was thought, yeah, this is my time. You know, we're gonna do it. So then to get an injury after that was devastating. So this is definitely one of those moments again where it's like everything happens for a reason, you know. And I've got full focus on trying to get in those playoffs with Bristol City.
And just finally, still although the disappointing result last weekend, still confident that you can do it?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, it's 3 points, and it was a poor performance. You know, we're not hiding from that. We weren't up to scratch, but at the end of the day, we're still in with a chance, and you know, we can only get better from that performance, and hopefully we can change that round on Saturday and the games after that, on Sunday even, sorry, and the games after that.
Contract situation, I know you've already spoken about it, Korey, but is there an pressure on you because you're coming to the end of your contract with just a...
I mean, yeah, you can see it in 2 ways, you know. Obviously, you can see it as a pressure, and you know, you gotta perform to try and, you know, earn a contract or for other clubs or whatever. But me personally, I'm not even looking at it like that. Like I said, my goal's always been to try and get this club into the playoffs, and that's what I'm just concentrating on. You know, there's no point thinking too far into the future. You know, you can just do what you can do now, and that's all my mind's on.
I take it it's going to be massive for you playing home again this weekend, as opposed to being...
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear exactly. I think you said about playing at home. So yeah, no, I think yeah, we're really looking forward to it, being back at Ashton Gate. You know, we've trained here a few times, and every time we've trained here, you know, the pitch is absolutely amazing. The groundsmen have done a great job. The ball's zipping around, and you know, you haven't got to do that journey. The like I said, the sitting on the coach and being in the room on your own and stuff like that. So hopefully that can all play to our advantage. Those little percentages. And obviously the boys will be buzzing to get back on Ashton Gate. Obviously it would be even better if the fans were able to come in, but with everything going on, hopefully we can get a good result, and everyone can have a good day on Sunday.